Hey, Slick Talkers, thank you so much for tuning into this podcast. And I know that if you love this show, you'll also love my morning show called Good Morning Hospitality with my co hosts Michael Golden and Brandy Canali, as we spend 30 minutes every Monday morning to dive into the industry's top latest news and trending topics. So go check it out on wherever you find your podcasts at Good Morning Hospitality. And you can live stream with us on Monday mornings on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. Now, I hope you enjoy this episode. Hey, Emmanuel, what are you doing in this episode? Did I forget a meeting?
Hey, Will. No, we don't have a meeting, but I love tuning into the recording, so I figured I'd hop in.
Oh, awesome. Well, hey, since I got you here, do you mind sharing some stuff about Jetstream? Ever since our episode on Slick Talk, we get tons of questions about you and, of course, Jetstream.
Of course, I'd love to share. Anything specific?
Well, I keep getting asked, what's the difference between Jetstream and any other service or tech in the vacation rental industry? My simple answer is that Jetstream isn't just the tech you need, but it's the people too. Am I close?
The short answer is yes. You see, maybe you're a short-term rental operator or a realtor or an investor. If you have an interest in short-term rentals and hospitality, you're looking for the most efficient way to either enter the industry or streamline your operations. You've got two options. Option one, the hard one. You find a PMS, hire staff, learn the tools, figure out OTA distribution, train yourself, train your teams, price your product, deal with customers, and you do everything yourself. Option two, partner with Jetstream. Jetstream is a complete solution that maximizes your revenue in the short-term rental industry without increasing your fixed costs. Jetstream handles everything.
So I don't need to sign up for vacation rental software or worry about distribution headaches. And what about branding? What if operators love their brand and name? Do they have to give that up in order to be powered by Jetstream?
Absolutely not. Jetstream does all of this white labeled under your brand name. Everything. You focus on delivering on-site guest delight and growing your inventory. Jetstream handles the rest. And to make it even easier for your listeners and anyone else who stumbles across this podcast, anyone who mentions code SlickTalk50 will receive 50% off the first 3 months.
All right, coming in big with the 50% off for our listeners. Well, hey, Emmanuel, I just want to say thank you so much for shedding some light on the power of Jetstream and being such a great industry partner. I do have to get back to this episode, though, but let's get together soon for another virtual happy hour. First round's on me.
Sounds good, Will. See you soon.
You're listening to Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast, a podcast for those who are in and around the hospitality industry who love, live, and breathe what they do. You can join us for candid and unscripted conversations with hospitality experts and founders as we go deeper into their personal stories while they're sharing their triumphs and trials that got them to where they are today. I'm your host, Will Slickers, and you're listening to an episode of Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast. Now, let's begin. All right, everybody, welcome back to another but special episode of Slick Talk. I'm very excited to be here today with my main man, Damian Sheridan, which is the founder of the Book Direct Show and Book Direct Network. We have had some fun times the last couple of weeks. Not to spoil too much for everybody that's listening, but were we just in Miami together? I don't know. I think
we had a bit of fun for a few days in Miami. I think, yeah, we'll get to that shortly. But yeah, it was good to meet you again in person. Will,
yes.
The last time we met was just pre-pandemic, couple of days before.
March 2020, the greatest and biggest industry. We call it super spreader event. I don't know, but it was a good time. We were all in London having a good time, and I remember meeting you on LinkedIn first, being super excited about what you're doing at the Book Direct Show and the Book Direct movement, and then getting to meet you in person. That you were my top list of people to meet. So
stop it, Will.
Well, I'm super excited to have you on the podcast, obviously, for a lot of reasons, but let's just jump right in. Tell us a little bit of, obviously, for people that didn't listen to our episode last year on Book Direct Day, which is kind of the whole point of why we're here. Book Direct Day, plus a few other things coming up. But who is Damien? What is the Book Direct Show? What's the Book Direct Network? Kind of give the audience a quick glimpse.
Cool, thanks, Will. So so I'm Damien Sheridan. I'm the founder and director of the Book Direct Show. It is the event dedicated to property managers in the short-term rental industry who are looking to generate their own bookings away from more traditional OTAs, the ones we know and love. So I've also subsequently founded the Book Direct Network, which is a community of articles, videos, events, etc., all dedicated to direct booking strategies. And this year we are hosting the Book Direct Show in the US for the first time. Very excited about that. And we are collaborating with Mr. Will Slickers. I'll pass back to Will in 1 second, but we're going to do a joint event. I certainly feel that a collaborative conference and award ceremony is going to stand to everyone who attends. I think it's a celebration of hospitality as well as education and as well as just a collaborative communal event. So really excited about it. We've got 2 days coming up in Miami in October, 18th and 19th. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll let Will explain what the Destination Air Awards and how that's going to be a part of this event.
Yeah, well, it makes perfect sense, and I love that you added the community aspect, because for me, like, that's the whole point of hospitality, right? Like, I think we're just a big global community, not only to go learn and apply some education to our businesses, but really to walk away with deeper connection with those operating around the world, those providing services around the world, whatever it may be. Just it's really a big important part of my life. And so for us to announce, that we're doing the Book Direct Show and Destination Air Awards in 2020 this October is really exciting. And so the whole point of the Destination Air Awards, when I announced it and kind of created the concept in 2020 when I was on COVID orders with the National Guard doing testing sites and stuff, was more or less like people that are wired to create remarkable experiences are anticipated and shared. And I think a big part of that is direct bookings and creating that brand and really setting that high standard within hospitality, whether you're short-term rentals, hotels, a restaurant. Either way, like, at the end of the day, hospitality in all facets is super important. And direct bookings, building a brand, building a community, building value outside of an OTA, where at the end of the day you don't have full control. So it's really exciting that we get to partner up and bring this award ceremony together. We had a really good response in 2020 with COVID-19 and everything going on. Wasn't really able to continue to push it as much because of everybody was kind of running around trying to keep their business alive and keep the livelihood going. But we're still keeping that same spirit, and I'm super excited to bring it to in-person event with you. So it's gonna be great.
So excited, Will. Obviously, you and I know we've had a lot of interest in this show from both partners and from attendees over the last couple of weeks. Seeing our press releases and the like. So, yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's going to be a fun couple of days. It's going to be a lot to learn, and really just all being about a celebration as well of direct bookings and hospitality. And I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be an enjoyable experience for one and all.
Well, I want to go into the event and the way we kind of looked at it for people that have been to industry conferences before. There's a certain expectation, right, when it comes to a venue, catering, lodging, all this stuff. And I like the approach that we're having with it, because we're really kind of going against the grain when it goes to having it at a hotel banquet hall or whatever, with hotel lodging, with hotel catering. We're really trying to change it in the sense of creating a unique experience for our attendees, and partnering with local operators, partnering with local vendors outside of a hotel, especially if we're focusing on short-term rental, which is really exciting because we're getting to announce our venue. But our venue is super different, super unique, and I'm really excited for it. Just like the creativity we get to have with the design and the look and the partners that we bring in. It's going to be like, I wish we could show everyone our working doc of creativity and ideas and everything that we have going on in the background, because it's really fun and it's going to be really different.
I wish I could also show our Uber bill for that week when we were there, because
drinking bill, that was a little.
The amount of venues that we saw, all of those directors and events coordinators in our industry, they will completely appreciate this. The time invested in finding the right venue is extraordinary. It takes so much effort to work out what's going to provide the best guest experience. That's what our industry is all about as well. We want to make sure that the venue that we have for the show and for the awards evening is just a little bit different, and it's going to provide something that's going to be memorable. So we decided not to go with a hotel in the end. Various reasons. I have to hold my hand up and say expense is a big reason for that. But I think most importantly, we just thought that what our attendees were going to get out of it was going to be a little bit different. And in line with also a kind of a greener movement that we have this year for the Book Direct show, I think our venue that we've honed in on is hits the nail on the head.
It's very green in color and very green and what we're going to be doing with just even from our event planner, right? So we got to give Frank a big shout out. Really impressed with this man and the company he's built, but talking about the eco-friendly products that we get to bring into the event, not having to waste and do a bunch of plastic, and the other partners, like we just confirmed Hostfully to be our guidebook sponsor. That's going to be providing all the information that all of our attendees need, all the sponsors need. Everyone's going to having direct access to, and we're not going to be wasting a ton of paper to have printed guides that people aren't going to reuse. We're not going to be able to reuse next year. So really focusing on that aspect of sustainability in the sense of eco-friendly is really important for us. And I'm excited that we're implementing these little things, but they make a big difference. So
yeah. And a big shout out to Bob Gardner as well, because I've been working alongside him over the last month or so. Antonio VRWS as well. One of our big goals is to kind of set the standard for conferences in this industry, and how we can learn off each other and provide a more eco-friendly experience and just reduce our carbon emissions, at least by offsetting them, and trying to do better for the world that we live in. So I think we are well on the way to achieving that with our venue that we have confirmed.
Yes, and before we get to announcing the venue, can you just kind of I know you and I talked about this while we were in Miami. We did a lot of walking, we did a lot of talking, we did a lot of eating, and a lot of meeting other great people in the area, Matt Landau, and then of course our big happy hour event where we met, guys from Super Hog, and we had the Sextant people and Cassiola, and we had a bunch of people there. We had Vincent from Uplisting and Arthur that all flew in from New York to come just hang out with us in Miami for an evening.
And Journey put us up as well.
Yes, and Journey, shout out to Journey. It was a great evening and a great community event for getting people excited about the venue, about the conference. But I didn't know the amount of work that went into putting these shows on. I know the amount of work it takes to put on a podcast and to create, our Hospitality FM network and everything like that. But when you and I collaborated on this, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is what's going to be, easy, super going. But can you just explain some of the stuff that maybe people don't get to see, behind the scenes that goes into putting on this conference? Because I learned a ton just from our experience together in Miami when it came to venue inspections and tours and meetings and, all the other stuff that we did.
Wow, I don't even know where to start with that one. Probably the main thing I'd say, it's probably 4 to 5 months of solid work that's involved, full-time work.
Yeah.
And that's, curating speakers, Deborah, shout out to Deborah over the last couple of years. We've curated on and liaised with speakers for both online and in person. You've got your venue, you've got all the logistics, you've got the catering, you've got the drinks afterwards, different venues going on, ticket packages, lanyards, decoration of the day.
Audio control.
COVID control, so many things. It's, every year it kind of astounds me how they escalate, and how hard it is to keep just expenses, but also just keep it all under control. But I think I'm glad I haven't scared you off too much with it, Will.
Oh no, not at all. We like is I think we started out with what do we want out of the event? Like getting the understanding of like our goal and mission of it. What do we want to get out of it with community and building up the value for everyone that's attending, whether they're sponsors or whether they're attendees. I think that was the most important starting point. And then going into, understanding like I think you asked me this last year when we kind of started the idea of like, hey, let's collaborate and let's do this event for 2022. Was okay, what do you like about conferences? What do you not like? What are the things that we want to do differently? How can we make this an event? And I think from our conversations with everyone at our happy hour event in Miami, people were so excited. I never felt like a more anxious in a positive way energy from people that were just like, this is something super cool, very unique. I'm very excited. Like this is something that resonates with me. And that was just a cool message to hear. So I think building that out and then going into, okay, like where do we need help? You and I definitely need help on the audio visual side when it comes to planning and strategics and kind of coordinating and keeping everything structured while we were working on building up the attendees list and everything else that goes into it. So I'm very happy with how it's turned out. And of course, our long working doc of ideas and things to execute on.
We will get through that slowly but surely. Will, yeah. But yeah, it is exciting. And one thing that we've spoken about before is that sense of community and the kind of the positive energy that we want to bring to this event. We want everyone to feel that there's a feeling of solidarity amongst us all. Everyone who comes, we're here to learn. We're here to learn not only from our speakers, but learn probably most importantly from each other. What are we all doing to help boost our own independence, to generate our own bookings? There's so many things that I learn year on year that I thought that is brilliant. I never would even thought about it before. And I think collectively we can learn more than any one of our speakers can teach. But we want to try and get that balance right. And I hope the environment that we're going to set for the couple of days is going to be both exciting and very novel and one of a kind. We really hope to kind of create something very, very different.
Yes. So I think now that we're both on the same page about community and everything that we're putting together for the show, is it time to announce our venue? I think
let's do it. Well, let's do it. Well, so obviously we've chosen a space that's all about community. It's in line with our kind of eco-friendly ethos, and it's somewhere that you really, once you walk in, it's an amazing place. You really feel like you can breathe, and you can hear birds. There's greenery everywhere, and they really have planned this place out incredibly, with incredible landscaping, with trees and all kinds of nature going on in here. Yeah. So we have confirmed, drum roll.
I don't have a drum roll, but I have an applause. So
we have confirmed the Miami Ironside location, which is it is in the Upper East Side of Miami. So not too far from the airport, nor the beaches, and it's a truly unique place. As we said before, it's not a hotel, it's not a ballroom. We're really trying to achieve something a bit different. We've got an amazing space whereby we've got the downstairs is it's a blank canvas where we're going to just really just customize that with our speakers and with our partners. And we have a whole mezzanine area upstairs, which all of our partners and sponsors are going to be in, where our catering is going to be as well. So all of our attendees will be able to join and mingle with them during our breaks, afterwards, and throughout the awards as well.
Yes, it's super exciting. It definitely you captured it right. Like it feels like an oasis to me. Like when we walked in at first, I remember, I think for those who are listening and watching, like our tour, like standards, like the way it started wasn't very great. Let's just be honest. It wasn't. We didn't have the best experience with our first venue. And then our second venue got a little bit better, but it still wasn't great. Our third venue was pretty awesome. And then we got to Ironside after we did a couple others, and we kind of canceled some other ones that were too far off the beaten path and all this other stuff. But long story short, it just was like, it wasn't the best experience, but ending with Ironside and the way we walked in, and it just really kind of encompassed you. You felt like that you were in a destination in itself, right? Like, which we talk about in the Destination Air Awards. And the concept is that you're creating a destination out of a destination. So I'm not there to be in Miami. I'm there to be at Ironside, where there's just so much around. And it really does feel like you're closed off to the outside world in a good way. That was really cool to encompass and to really explore. You know, one of my favorite things was that, you know, outside of our catering that we're going to have at the event, that there's other options on the outside of that space that we're going to be hosting the event at. So just around the corner, there's a great pizza spot. Just around the other corner, there's another restaurant. And so
when we say the corner, that's it. That's within this community as well. It doesn't mean you're going around the block or anything like that. It's like
right
it's
there.
20-second walk. Yeah.
So it's really cool. And then plus, like, come on, look at this life-size chest. Like, I'm gonna kick your butt when we get down there again to do that game. But no, it's really cool and exciting in the sense of it's different, and it really encompasses what vacation rentals are about, which is a unique space compared to any other type of lodging in the industry. So it's very exciting, and can't wait. I'm pumped. Can we get there like a month early? Just kind of relax and chill and.
Yeah, I might change my flights. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it is. It's a really extraordinary venue, and I hope everyone will agree with us in that it's something that is. I think you know what you mentioned about creating a destination. This really is a destination.
Yeah.
In line with the awards, and you know we hope we can fulfill everyone's needs and requirements for their experience over the couple of days. But we're pretty confident this is going to do more so than a hotel ballroom would, for example. That's not to say that other events don't create an amazing atmosphere, because they do, and you know we absolutely appreciate what the extraordinary work that goes into it, and what they pull off is amazing. We just want to do something a little bit different, and I hope we are going to do that. The venue certainly will achieve that.
Agreed. Well, other than the announcement of the venue, so obviously in the show notes of this audio and this video clip, we're going to send people to the Book Direct show website. So make sure you inquire interest in attending. We're really excited because this is going to be, again, very unique, very exciting in the community aspect. And we're excited to announce more exciting collaborations and partnerships along the way. But other than that, I think just get ready for October, right before VRMA, and we're going to have a great conference season this year, I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, lots of announcements to come over the next couple of weeks in terms of partners, in terms of speakers. So watch this space.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Damien, for jumping on the podcast with me to cover our exciting event and conference. Very pumped to work with you. And yeah, like you said, we'll put everything in the show notes. So make sure that you follow, like, subscribe, and do all the things that go along with that. And then we'll see everyone again very soon with more exciting announcements. Thanks, Damien.
Happy Book Direct Day.
Thank you so much for listening, and thank you to our show partners for making Slick Talk, the hospitality podcast, possible. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we would love to connect with you outside of the podcast. So you can follow us on all of our social media channels for daily hospitality content, or find us on slicktalkthepodcast.com. And don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm your host, Will Slickers, and we will see you guys all again next week. What's up, everybody? If you've gotten this far into the episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast, then you are amazing, and thank you so much for tuning in. we want to send you 2 places really quickly. If you can, check out the show notes and click the hospitality.fm link. Check out all of our other shows on the podcast network. And don't forget, if you have someone that you want to hear on the podcast, then fill out the guest fill out form so that way we can get them on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy another episode of Slick Talk, the Hospitality Podcast.